Hello everyone, Keza here doing a short video on Thanksgiving 2018. If you've never done any of the Thanksgiving events before, I will cover some of the basics of what goes on during a standard Thanksgiving event. Don't know if they'll change it in future years, but so far this one is the same as 2017, in which you are going to be looking for turkeys, Indians, pilgrims, wandering around pretty much all around the world and specifically grouped up at NPC camps. So I'm going to go over some things, including how to find them at NPC camps, and if you want to just look around in the outer world, some strategies to do that, and some builds that might help you do it as a new player as well. To start, I'm going to go over my main strategy of how I've been going through these NPC camps. I've been using my main Keza with a Frenzied pack to just go through and do tons of damage to them. Keza Fire is my treasure hunter character, so they have lockpicking and they can actually be utilized to open the chests that are found at each camp, as well as take the prisoner to the town they request. That prisoner will always give you 1 holiday coin, so not a huge reward, but if you can just gate them to where they're asking, I mean, that's an easy holiday coin, so I always do it with that character. And then of course unlocking the chest and all that stuff gets you a huge amount of wands, anywhere between I'd say 3 to 10 wands per camp you go to, so that's not bad, and of course there's gold and all that in them as well. If you're newer and you just don't know what these NPC camps are or how to find them or what all that stuff is about, check the town message boards. I recall around from town to town. I have locations set to each message board, so I go straight there, check and see if there's any requests for people being kidnapped or they need aid. Because each one of these prisoners that gives a holiday coin for being turned in is also basically broadcasting a message out telling you exactly where they are. There's like 100 locations of where these camps can be, so checking the message boards in each town will greatly narrow down your search rather than recalling around to 100 locations. Each message board covers roughly 10 locations, so it's much faster just to check the boards, see if there's anyone requesting help, and then you can of course go there. You will find Indians if the message is, well, correct. It'll say that people have been kidnapped by, the exclamation mark, because there's no word for the turkeys, Indians, and pilgrims. But the other messages will say that they've been kidnapped by orcs, lizard men, or rat men, or other. Now I've created a system on my own UO automaps that I've developed over a few years now that basically marks each location, and I title it a certain way so that I know how to go back there. If it pops up on the message board, I quickly know exactly where Indians and pilgrims will be found. And even if there's just, orcs or whatever there, I still kill them and loot the place. And you can come up with a system of your own. I could share all these locations I have and all this detailed stuff that might help, but figuring all that out and marking all these locations was actually kind of fun, and I encourage other people to do it on their own as well. So anyways, I do loot all of these lesser camps because you can actually get regular platinum coins by just taking out a few small monsters. And I have a video from way back when of where I did this treasure hunting as well, which is basically Outerland treasure hunting for NPC camps, and you can actually get a good bit of gold off these lesser ones. So even if there's not pilgrims and Indians to kill at these camps, I would recommend wiping them out, especially if you're a new player and you're having trouble taking out entire NPC camps that are full of Indians and pilgrims and turkeys, because they do have a significant amount of hit points, and if you're not in your late game, you're going to be coming up short on damage. Speaking of new players, this is a new build that I've tried out for this event, and it's pretty fun. It's basically an Aussie tank using tracking. And so with this build, I can run around and use tracking to find any stray Indians or pilgrims or even NPC camps that happen to be nearby, and take them out. The reason I'm showing this build is because you could macro this whole build at almost 0 cost in about 3 days, or you could just make the whole character in about maybe 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks of playing time, depending on how much time you have to play. But basically it would be a great no-cost startup character for you to get into these events, or even to do the Christmas event, because you can use tracking and whatnot to find the elves. The damage of this versus the Indians and Pilgrims isn't anything great, but it's definitely not a whole lot less than using just a single Tamer with Dragons because of the massive damage reduction you get from using your pets. So this character is not going to be killing quickly, but if you've tried killing the Pilgrims and Indians with your pets, you'll also notice it's a pretty long fight. So yeah, if you're interested in this build, there's a link here to a recent video I made, Aussie Tanks Getting Started. Anyways, for long fights, if you have run into the Pilgrims or Indians that have a shield, I'm not sure if they both have this type of boss, but I've run into them with the shield, and they have a pile of hit points, and they just take forever to kill.
Now you can see I'm looking through their stats here. This monster in particular, but other ones as well, are very difficult to use bardic skills on. So that's another reason why using either tames or an Aussie tank or even summons can be a better method for these things. The problem with using summons is these are completely immune to poison, so I've heard people using like 100 blade spirits to try to kill one of these, so that's going to take quite some time. I can't recommend any super fast way to kill these unless you have a whole bunch of people able to group up on it. Even with a frenzied pack and a good melee weapon, it's like a 5-minute fight. Luckily my other characters can just freely run around and cast EVs on stuff and do something productive in the background. I haven't run into a Turkinator yet. I ran into, I think, 2 of them last year. I'm hoping to get one this year. We'll see. That is about all I have for Thanksgiving 2018. If you're more interested in the Christmas event that's right around the corner, I would recommend grabbing a good respawn weapon for any of your melee Dexter characters. Some good places to do that would be, of course, the Ancient Lich area. It's a little difficult to go to because you can't resurrect in zone, so you need a rescue character around. You could also just do the Lich Lords. They're always a great place to go to. It's just a little crammed in that room, so I always take a build that doesn't involve a lot of tames. I also had a funny experience in there where I lost my night sight in the middle of a fight, and it made for quite a fun little experience. If you're using light levels in Razor, I recommend turning it off every now and then just because you're missing out on 50% of the game visually. So I think it's pretty awesome even if things are hard to see it sometimes. Anyways, just get out there, find some NPC camps, find some turkeys, and have fun with the Thanksgiving event. If I don't have a chance to make a video right away for the Christmas stuff, Merry Christmas as well. I'll be playing, but with the holiday stuff, I have no idea how much time I'll be actually able to play. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around in game.